My name's Paul. I've been an investigator for a couple of years now. Uh, I've always had a fascination with odd things that happen. And then it wasn't until, I don't know, I guess it was after my last experience at Gettysburg in 2019 that I'm like, I had no equipment then. And then I just started slowly just getting equipment. First thing I bought a digital voice recorder. Then I bought my SB11 and my K2 EMF meter, bought them as a set. And now I've got three. And then I just went from there. And then it was just a matter of playing with it, practicing with it. Went on a couple investigations with a friend of mine. And still just playing with it. I didn't know how to use it, but it was I see other people, I watch how they do it, watch how they set it up, learn how to set the equipment up. That's the big thing. You may have it, but do you know how to use it? And then it's just a matter from there, connecting with people and gaining knowledge, gaining experience in doing this. And then I just went from there. And then I got into a group, and we went, the first investigation that I went on with them was at Ferguson Cemetery in Norwood, America. And was, now I was off. I'm off and running. I'm a novice, amateur paranormal investigator. And here I am, actually doing what I, really wanted to do for a while, and it felt really good. And then it was just, when's the next one? When's the next one? Where are we going to go for the next one? And then now here I am, back at the Calumet Hotel again with a group that I formed with two other people, Luke Swanson and Beth the Awesome. And back at Calumet for the second time with Black Dog Paranormal. And I've just been so excited to come back here. And then the previous investigations that we've done. Yeah, here we are. It was the very first time that I'd used dowsing rods. And so I learned literally right on the spot on how to use dowsing rods, how to hold them, how to, basically, it's kind of an art form to use dowsing rods, and people do different things with dowsing rods. But dowsing rods are old. I mean, they started out with basically wood, and you wanted to find something, and it would lead you to it. And dowsing rods have evolved over time. This is my personal set that I bought about a year ago. And I take these with me on every investigation that I've gone on. I got them shortly after my first time at the Calumet. But it was just amazing how simple these are. You hold them, and you ask a test question to what's your yes, no answer. It's also good for directions. So if you want to have whatever you're communicating with via dowsing rods to point somebody out, to let them know, and then you tell them which dowsing rod, or you ask them which dowsing rod, and hey, use the dowsing rod in my left hand to point to this person, and that dowsing rod will move and point and stop at that person. These, like I said, these are my very own. I bring them, I use them every time, and so I kind of put my energy into this set of dowsing rods. I've got a couple others that are kind of like loaners, but these are mine. These are my own personal. You know, it's weird. I mean, I have it in my bedroom with, you know, they're always around me.
They certainly feel like a part of you.
Yeah, they are. So that they respond very well to questions that I've asked. So, and yeah, I would say that dowsing rods, for having not used them ever and then the first time here, and then actually getting communication with one of the residents, spirit residents here, Charlie, who kind of took a fascination to me and just was answering all my questions with a set of dowsing rods. And there, yeah, that was fun.
How I got Black Dog Paranormal together was when I was in another group, and I wanted to have, I found out it was difficult to get into a group, period, because paranormal investigators are kind of secretive. They tend to be very close-knit, and they don't like people, which is sad because there is a huge interest.
And it feels more like a competition than
Yeah, it feels like, oh my God, you're going to go into your group and, you know, maybe even leave or, you know, whatever. Well, in the first group that I was in, I made it straight out, plain out, clear that, you know, I do want to, you know, have a group of my own. I mean, there's a lot of great groups. I mean, in the state of Minnesota, I can't even count the number of groups. The passion, it's just an amazing field to be involved in with some of the people, because it's just the love that they have for this is amazing, and I get it. But it's a very close-knit group. It's a closed community to a degree. Luke and I we had been corresponding. It was through one of the Facebook pages or whatnot. We just started talking. That's how everything begins, is through talking. Then we met, and we had cigars.
Okay.
Well, we had talked before about, I'd let him know that I wanted to form a group, because there's groups up north, there's groups down south, there's groups out west Minnesota, and there's groups local Twin Cities, but it's like, man, it's just good luck trying to get in, you know, and then, you know, you don't want to do an investigation by yourself, because then it's just not going to end well. So one of the things that I wanted, a local group with local people to go and do some pretty kick-ass things. And I also wanted it to be open. So we talked about that over a cigar, couple, and we were both of the same mindset that yes, it was very hard to get into, to even talk to other people about that, but I wanted to have an open group with core members, that we could have guests, we could do collaborations with other groups, share experiences, share knowledge, because this field, there is so much, and everybody has different experiences, and as Black Dog Paranormal, we can do that. We can have collaborations. We're open for, if somebody is wanting to get into the field but they don't know how to go, we are a great resource. We've got a lot of knowledge, and we just want to share. And if we can teach, and if somebody wants to go off and form a group, hey, you know, I wish you the best, because this is what you wanted, and it's not like we're losing anybody. I think it's actually like we're gaining a partner in this field, And that was one of the things that we wanted when we started Black Dog Paranormal. First time Luke and I did an investigation, I took him right back to where I did my first investigation with another group, and we went to Ferguson Cemetery. So we had some good, I've been there 3 times now, and every time we've always experienced something new, something different. And then it was with the addition of Beth, and then her first time going on an investigation, we went back to Ferguson Cemetery. And so it just seems like, you know, takes people local to a local place that has a lot of activity, and that place has a lot of activity. And then we just started from there. Where we're going to go next? Actually, that did happen to a gal that I know. She's a waitress, and when I told her that I was a paranormal investigator, she's like, "Oh my God, cool!" And then just conversation, and then she came up to me, and then she's like, "I don't know who to talk to, and I know that you would probably understand." And then she told me her situation, and I activated Black Dog Paranormal and said, "This is what's going on. This is what needs to be done. This is what's happening with her and her family." And we resolved. I want to say that we resolved it, but I don't know if it's ever resolved. But it's just don't be so shy about talking about it, because you never know who you're going to reach, and that's the key. My advice would be to just be open, because when you're open to sharing experiences, that's when learning can really happen. And I mean, although my knowledge, with some of the other people that are out there, I think they have more knowledge. That's my personal opinion, but I have an open mind, and I'm always looking to learn and be better than who I was personally yesterday, and as also an investigator. For me personally, whenever I go to a place, I'm always a skeptic. You know, because I haven't been to a place, so I don't know. I'm kind of going off other people's experiences, but it hasn't happened to me. And then so I'm a skeptic. It's like, okay, whatever. And until something happens, and then you have to have something that, you know, when you are doing investigations, you have to have something
Keeping you there, kind of
going.
thing. Yeah.
And it's also you're exploring. You are going into an unknown field, and I think it's the sense of like our forefathers and our ancestors always exploring. They explored the unknown until it became the known. Mm-hmm. It's almost like this is a new world, and it's we have our ancestors as investigators. I mean, the Warrens. I mean, a lot, and it's just a matter of reading, finding out, research, and then when you can't cram any more information into your filing cabinet, then it's time to put that theoretical knowledge that you've been garnering up, and then now it's time to really get it going. And then that's one thing I like about us, is if somebody is in that situation, like I was, like Luke was, whoever else may come, let's stop cutting bait, focus. There's the base. I mean, there's a lot of commonality in some of the places, like the Villisca Axe Murder House. We know what happened there, 1912. That people that have been there, there's the story. There's the media sensational of it back then in 1912. But then there's what people are finding. And it all seems to run the same, or I should say it runs along in the same line. There may be a different tangent here, a different tangent there, but I think it's what we're doing is, as investigators, is going off on those, we go off on tangents sometimes, but then we're also finding additional information that we can add to the entirety of the story. When you can share your findings, now you're just adding another piece to the incomplete puzzle. No, I mean, even back at the second time here at the Calumet, there's things here that, I mean, the stories that people have told, documented, passed on, I have not experienced. You know, people have seen people, you know, kids running down the hallway. Nope, haven't seen that one. I haven't seen any apparitions. I have not seen, well, there was last time that I was here, I did see, when we had permission, and we were down here last time, literally sitting at this bar, and I went and walked down the hallway, and that's when I saw this shadow walk under the door, and I'm like, I'm out, and needed to go. One of the things that I've tested theory-wise is, do spirits have a memory? And I want to find out if the spirit of Charlie, who died here in a fire, remembers me from when I was here over a year ago. And used dowsing rods again, so I think that's, you know, I want to find that. Any, you know, anything, any little bit. Now I mean, I know a little, yeah, obviously I know a little bit more. Made it once around the sun again. And now it's just, I don't know if it's talking. It's just a matter of, I guess, confidence. Because, you know, I've been doing this now for almost 2 years. And I'm definitely a lot more confident than I very first started the first time. So, and I think that's just when the more you do something, the more experience you gain, your confidence level goes up. So.
When I first got back here, like, I was just ecstatic. The familiar feeling that I had, it was a good one. It's like, I didn't feel any kind of negativity. It was welcoming. Is that kind of the same way that you felt?
Same thing. I walked in, I'm like,
you can't help but smile.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
like, this place is beautiful, man. It just felt very welcoming.
Breathtaking almost, in a good way.
Yeah, and this is a historic building, and to be back here in this building, I mean, you know, the foundation, just the outside, the inside, this whole building is, yeah, this is beautiful. And, you know, the staff that work here are just, I can't say enough about them. They're very friendly, they're very accommodating, and very social.
Thank you very much.
This is a beautiful hotel. And anybody, if you are looking to maybe do an investigation, or just not even investigate, just to come here, this is a beautiful hotel in its own right.